DanganRonpa.
And welcome back to more DanganRonpa 2 Goodbye Despair. And it's class trial time. Roar! What the? Something's shaking? This is dangerous, everyone please get down. What the fuck? Help me get up! Could it be? Is he telling us to enter it? What? It's a suspicious aura. Even Crimson Steel Elephant Mega Z is trembling with fear. Not so totally suspicious.
Hey!
Forgive me. Seriously, just forgive me already. Hey, why don't we just stop here? I mean, none of this is real anyway. Like, not even remotely.
No
way. There's just no way we'll find the killer.
Stupid!
Complaining won't get us anywhere. If you're really a man, man up for God's sake. We've come this far, we have no choice but to keep moving forward. You're right, there's nowhere for us to run. We need to do it. If that's everyone's decision, I'll just follow you guys.
Yep.
If this were a video game, it'd have a very high difficulty level. Let's do our best to clear the game. Shaking with fear and nervousness, I hesitantly lifted my feet and stepped onto the escalator. I won't think anymore. If I think, I'll run away. All I could do was stare upward intensely as the escalator carried me. And within each of us entered Monokuma Rock. This is an elevator? I see, this entire rock is an elevator. Once again, Monokuma is doing what he pleases. However, if he's gone this far and made something like this, I don't think he's playing around. Even so, we're going pretty deep. You're right. I heard an unnerving chattering sound inside my head. I soon realized it was the sound of my teeth. All I could do was purse my lips tightly so everyone else couldn't hear it. There we were, listening to unpleasant roars as the elevator plunged deeper and deeper into the earth. Some time passed before the elevator finally finished descending, and then the elevator doors slowly opened. Okay, welcome! This is a class trial field. How do you like it? It's a special place that will decide your fate. What the hell is he thinking of locking us in a shitty looking place like this? Fucking crazy, don't mess with me, asshole. Complain all you like, I'm used to it by now. Come on, you're wasting your time and energy. Hurry up and take your seats where your names are written. Just like everybody knows, even if we try to resist, it won't change a thing. This is Monokuma ordered. We walk towards the seats we had been assigned. From this point on, we need to find out who killed Byakuya. The ultimate affluent progeny, Byakuya Togumi. He was overly critical, arrogant, and condescending, but he also had a strong sense of responsibility. As we were panicking, he accepted his role as leader and tried his very best to keep us together. A guy like him got murdered. The person who did it was one of us. can't believe it. There's no way I can believe it. But if it really is true, we need to find out by any means possible. Because that's our only option. There is no way for us to survive unless we sacrifice the killer. And so, this life-threatening trial, billowing with hope and despair, has begun. Yes, I really do want to save. Actually, you know what? Save over that one. Okay, let's see. What skills do I have? 0 at all. There's a lot to get, and I still got that's handy. E-handbook. How many truth bullets do I have? A lot. Oh god damn it. Let's wing it, we'll see what happens. Let's just do this. Go. Yep.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial.
Sure, he's gonna talk. Gives me a break. Ah, my poor voice. But
during the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it.
can I vote that I killed this PS4 remote? Because I fucking hate it.
If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island.
Such a cruel rule.
Before we begin, I'd like to confirm one thing. Is there really a killer among us?
Most definitely. There's no doubt that the blackened is lurking among you. Such a sad state of affairs, isn't it? By the way, this class trial is gonna be 100% fair, so there's no need to worry.
What do you mean, fair?
I'm the type who hates favoritism and prejudice. Well, not as much as I hate monogamy, of course.
You hate me that much?
You are swinging next to him.
Now, let's begin!
You're telling us to begin, but what are we supposed to do?
That's the part where we all just sort of go, this guy did it. No, that guy did it. No, this guy did it. And just yell at each other.
No complaining, let's just settle this with our fists.
Always easier.
Were you even listening to the rules? Didn't that Byakuya bastard get killed in the dining hall, huh? Then everyone there is a fucking suspect.
Yeah, what you're really trying to say is that you're not the killer, right?
No shit. You guys went off on your own and started killing each other. This has nothing to do with me.
Huh? What does that mean?
Anyway, why don't we try talking about the most pressing issue on our minds?
And that is...
The most pressing issue on our minds? Where we found the body. It's very strange to find a body underneath a table.
Then, let's start with that mystery.
The reason why Byakuya's body was discovered under the dining hall table. We can start with that, but ultimately we need to find out who murdered him. If we can't do that, no, thinking about if is a waste of time. We have to do this, no matter what. So the class trial has finally started. From this point on, I will provide simple tutorials at every important moment. I'm sorry, but please excuse my irritating rudeness. As things progress during each class trial, you will engage in a number of non-stop debates. During these discussions, all of your classmates will speak one after the other without any breaks. It's up to you to reveal any lies or mistakes contained within their statements. This means you'll have to use your truth bullets to refute what they say. All of the truth bullets you find during your investigation, only the relevant ones will be loaded into the truth cylinder. Use the left stick to move the reticle and then fire with the triangle button. You can also fire by tapping this statement directly. Let me use triangle. Pay close attention to each character's statement and choose the truth bullet to blast through the reticle. Note that if you run out of time, you'll automatically fail, so please be careful. If you press the start button during the argument, you can review these controls. Well then, good luck and have fun. Right, so what bullets have I got? Knife, bloodstain, gas. Okay, so can I change it?
Why was Byakuya's body?
One button. Trying to load the gun.
In a place like that?
The L1 and R1 change it.
His body was underneath the table, at the very back of the dining hall.
Alright.
After the killer murdered Byakuya, they probably moved the body there.
Damn it!
Why?
Yes.
Obviously by hiding the body. They tried to delay its discovery!
Right.
Like a dog burying a bone!
Come on, Philip. Huh? What you just said sounded strange. It clearly contradicts the information I know. But they said he gives me a hint.
Why was Byakuya's body in a place like
I will
that?
point out, D-pad moves this reticle, so does the crappy right
Body
left
is
stick.
underneath the table.
Right stick does absolutely... Sorry. Yeah, right
The
stick does
very
nothing.
back of the dining hall.
After the killer murdered Byakuya,
Right.
they probably moved the
Yep.
body there. No, that's wrong.
Bullshit. Dude, this is cool. Right.
No, I don't think the killer moved the body.
Huh? Why?
Try to remember what the body looked like when we found it under the table. Though there was a lot of blood everywhere, there was no sign the killer actually dragged the body through it.
So that's why you think it's impossible that the killer moved the body. I see. I get your point.
Oh, and here I thought I had a genius idea.
Too bad you're so stupid and boring and unpopular. Your life is meaningless.
You're really annoying.
I respond better to praise, you know.
But if the killer didn't move the body, why was it under the table?
Byakuya was probably killed under the table.
Why was he under the table then?
What? You think he was killed under the table?
So Byakuya snuck under the table for reasons unknown, and that's when he was killed. Then, shortly thereafter, we found his body under the table.
That does make sense, but why did he go under the table?
Obviously, he was hiding so he could surprise us. That dude was always a big jokester.
No.
The hell he was? You seriously couldn't tell what kind of person he was?
Maybe he panicked during the blackout and dove under the table.
It's a blackout, not an earthquake. Just because the power went out doesn't mean he'd dive under the table.
Not an earthquake, dum-dum.
The reason why is probably connected to what Byakuya was doing during the party, don't you think?
Right. The reason Byakuya drove under the table. If it's connected to what Byakuya was doing during the party, it's probably... Wait, yeah. Then it's probably... Well... There's definitely a knife there. Yeah, go. No, go. Oh, there you go. Go in a triangle.
I can prove it with this!
Circle by accident.
It probably has something to do with the knife we found under the table.
Yeah. If he was doing basically security, he'd notice that.
Knife? Oh, you mean that thing that obviously screams, I am the murder weapon!
Yeah, but me can't say it's 5mm diameter for the murder weapon. And that thing sure as hell isn't 5mm.
Byakuya probably noticed the knife was hidden there.
Unless you use the very tip. No.
So in order to get it, he moved under the table.
He was particularly sensitive to the presence of dangerous items, so I cannot deny that possibility. But how did he notice that there was a knife under the
Because
table?
it glue in the dark.
If he knew beforehand, he probably would have done something about it before the blackout, right?
Right.
Then, instead of knowing about it beforehand, maybe he saw it right at that moment. Like, for example, he might have seen someone trying to take the knife out from under the table.
No, that's not possible.
No.
What? You seem rather confident about that.
Of course. I have proof to back me up. This is almost like a real trial!
During the previous statement, there was only one weak spot. But from this point on, there will be various weak spots standing in your way. No matter how many weak spots there are, there will only be one lie or contradiction in the debate at a time. This means that there will be false weak spots. If you shoot a false weak spot with a truth bullet, not only will you fail to refute what was said, but you'll also lower your trust with everyone and your influence gauge will take damage. If your influence gauge reaches 0, you will also fail. Please be careful. You'll have to rely on your own logic to determine which weak spots are actually lies and mistakes. Also, if you concentrate by holding down the R button, you can progress the argument slowly. Please use it whenever you feel like the statements are moving too fast in the game. However, this does consume the focus gauge, so please be careful. If you press the start button during the arguments, you can review this control. Well then, good luck and have fun. So it's just L to change weapons. knife, gun, ratchet, floorboard, AC timer, or night vision goggles.
I'm sure Byakuya ducked under the table during the blackout.
Night vision goggles, I'll leave that.
That sounds correct.
If that's the case... During the blackout, Mr. Ham
We don't have to say it, okay.
must have seen the killer take the knife.
Yeah.
But it was super pitch black! It was so dark I couldn't see my food!
Byakuya couldn't see in the dark either.
Very good.
No, that's wrong!
Night vision goggles, you can see anywhere. Just don't turn the lights on, you'll be blind.
No, Byakuya was probably the only one who was able to see in the dark.
Why do you say that?
Night vision goggles.
He was using those night vision goggles we found under the table. He could have seen what was happening.
So, are you saying Byakuya was the one who used those night vision goggles?
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems to be the case.
Your reasoning is out of focus.
What? Bitch.
No, that's obviously wrong. It should be the other way around.
Why?
Other way around?
Seriously? The killer used those night vision goggles, not Byakuya.
And why would they leave the evidence under the table? Were you surprised at Mahiru's sudden argument? Yeah, bitch. Just between you and me, I was also surprised. Just kidding, I'm sorry. Now then, when this kind of argument surfaces, you will go into a one-on-one debate called Rebuttal Shooter. In this mode, you have to counter the other person's play, draw up their weak spots, and argue against them. Please counter the other person's remarks with the directional buttons or by swiping the screen. Based on the shape of the remarks, it's important to know whether to cut vertically, sideways, or diagonally. Using a and based on that, you can skew the debate's mood to your advantage. On the other hand, if you ignore the other person's remarks, it will skew towards their advantage. In the bottom right corner of your screen, the number shows the sharpness of your counter display. This is the number of times you can cut remarks during one round of the debate. You will lose counter sharpness even if you miss, so please be careful. When the mood skews to your advantage for a certain amount of time, the other party's argument changes. This conversation will develop. If that happens, they will end up divulging some weak spots. However, you cannot normally cut remarks that contain weak spots. Instead, it will skew the mood toward the other party's advantage. Plus, it's going to be very big. Just like the regular debate, please refute any weak spots with the triangle button. When you're using the touchscreen, please argue by swiping with 2 fingers. Of course, if you don't have the correct truth blade, you will not be able to cut an opponent's mark. What's a truth blade, you ask? I'm terribly sorry, it appears to have been a delay in contacting you. I'll make sure the person in charge contacts you takes a very long vacation. In this mode, truth bullets can be called truth blades. That's about it. There won't be any other changes to your handling menu. Only the name has changed, but don't you think a changing feeling is important? If you press the start button during this argument, you can review the draw. Well then, good luck and have fun! Right, bitch. Let's do this. I can't swipe the screen, so this is gonna be entertaining. Let's just go with a case.
If you just use common sense, the killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
Swipe with the D-pad. Really hard, you just practice, no, it's easy.
Where's your
you
proof
just
that the
press
killer
it down
used
or up. You don't have to swipe at it.
Because then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark.
Yeah.
In reality, so
Keep
those
swiping,
goggles
score.
were planted that the killer brought them to the crime scene.
Ah, well. I missed. Not a whole new argument. I'm sure Byakuya brought the light vision goggles. I need to refute that.
Because if they used then they could have
Can't
killed
just carve
Byakuya
with it,
even
can
in the dark. In reality, that's so those goggles were planted that the killer brought them to the crime scene.
Now,
Allow me to cut through those words!
I missed. I just cut with an insight instead.
No, Byakuya was definitely the one who brought those night vision goggles.
Definitely? But why?
What was in that dodgy case, right?
Inside the Duralumin case Byakuya had with him during the party. We found a smaller case for storing the night vision goggles.
Yeah.
Which means we can assume that the night vision goggles were kept inside that Duralumin case as well. Woohoo! I said assume! Ibuki never uses such clever language.
Plus, Byakuya was the only one who could have taken the night vision goggles out of the case, since he was carrying it around before the blackout in the first place.
I see. When you put it like that, it makes sense.
Then, was that knife inside the case too? If there were night vision goggles inside, it wouldn't be weird for a knife to be in there too.
It would be weird.
I am weird, aren't I? At times like this, I'd rather be fantasizing about tonight's main dish.
Bro, we'll talk about that in detail later. Not now.
Ooh, you totally really mean that in a perverted way.
No, we don't. No. Okay, a little bit. The knife was brought in a durable case, along with the night vision goggles too. Well, that's not possible. The knife was hidden in the dining hall before the party even started, and I can prove it with the duct tape.
I see!
If they glue in the dark, it wouldn't become a truth bullet, regardless how much I
There
try.
was duct tape left under the table where the body was found. Huh? Duct tape? They probably hid the knife by duct taping it to the underside of the table.
Oh, so that's why we found duct tape there.
Though Byakuya was thorough, even he couldn't have noticed a weapon taped to the underside of the table.
This may be off topic, but why was Byakuya acting so paranoid? Not only did he bring a self-defense kit, but he had night vision goggles inside the case too.
That's true. He went above and beyond being a little cautious.
He did get a death threat letter in the mail.
Now that you mention it, that applies to the dangerous items he confiscated as well. It's one thing to be a little cautious, but performing a body check is a bit much.
He probably knew. Someone was planning to commit a murder.
Yep.
Are you saying he predicted the murder? Could it be? Was he also in possession of the all-seeing eye?
He had reading Steiner.
You think so too, right, Hajime?
Yeah. That's right. Byakuya probably knew there was a possibility that murder could occur, because there was that dodgy-looking letter. Can't find it. He had a letter saying that he was gonna die. No. There you go. Murder threat. That's it. Next step.
I can prove it with this!
I expected to see a letter in the envelope.
Everyone, can you please take a look at this?
Be careful, the first kill will happen tonight. Someone will definitely kill someone.
Hey, the hell is this?
Hajime and I found this in Byakuya's cottage.
It looks like a threatening letter someone sent to him.
So, who's the someone?
Nobody besides Monokuma would write such a dumb, threatening letter like that.
Wasn't me!
Are you sure?
The only lies I tell are friendly lies!
Those are still lies!
Doesn't matter who wrote it yet. So, Byakuya became paranoid because of this threatening letter?
He probably decided to throw a party because of the letter.
What do you mean?
By gathering everyone in one place, he tried to create a situation where everyone could keep tabs on each other. In doing so, he tried to put the writer of the letter in a situation where they couldn't act.
But the letter might have been just a little prank.
As long as he was determined not to let any of us die, he couldn't take that risk. A strong sense of responsibility made him believe the letter was legitimate.
He should have told us he received a threatening letter.
If he had, we would have panicked. Byakuya probably knew that too.
So, he tried to do something about it without telling anyone?
Ah, maybe with the crooked.
I see. A strong sense of responsibility as our leader was
Screw that noise! Who the hell wrote that letter?
Well, obviously, the killer.
The killer. Is it really one of us? Who is it? Among us, who's the one who killed Byakuya?
Enough already! Show yourself, you coward!
If they were willing to come forward, they never would have committed a murder in the first place.
But I still can't believe it. Someone in this room killed Byakuya? There's no way I can believe that yet.
Pardon me. Can I say something, please?
What is it, Miss Sonia?
I regret that I must return to this topic, but I just realized something concerning the night vision goggles. If Byakuya was indeed wearing those goggles, how did the killer manage to navigate in the dark?
You're right. They wouldn't have been able to see anything without the night vision goggles. But if the murderer had the goggles when they took the knife, then how did Byakuya see them?
Even if the knife bore some sort of mark, it would have been difficult to see it in that darkness.
No, the killer definitely used a mark. Because of this mark, the killer was able to get to the knife from under the table with his hand. Into his hand. So glowing paint.
I see! What if the glowing paint was the mark. With that, you'd be able to get the knife even in the dark.
Yeah.
In actuality, the knife we found under the table
Covering that green paint, not neon notches.
and the duct tape stuck to the underside of the table were both marked with glowing paint, right?
The stuff you see on fire exit.
Does that mean the killer painted them in advance?
But painting them with glowing paint? It's as if they knew the blackout was going to happen.
They had to have already known. That's why they used the glowing paint as a mark. Which means whoever set up the blackout is the killer.
That seals it. The killer is whoever was in the office with the circuit breaker. Which means it was you, Peko Pekoyama!
I thought we were ready to discuss this, Kazuichi. It's not.
Peko killed poor Byakuya? Was this island not big enough for 2 glasses wearers?
Not the killer. Oh, I guess she's not.
Not easy to convince a cat.
How can you believe her so easily?
With Peko's height, I don't think she'd be able to reach the circuit breaker in the office.
I don't care about a technicality like that. Peko's the one who tripped the breaker and caused the blackout.
By tripping the breaker directly from the office, Peko was the one who caused the blackout. Is that really what happened? No! After this debate, blue-coloured weak spots will start appearing. If we call the weak spots you've seen up till now argue spots, the blue-coloured weak spots will be called agree spots. When shooting agree spots with truth bullets, you will need to flip your way of thinking. Instead of arguing that the other person's testimonies contain lies and mistakes, please fire the truth bullets that prove the other person's testimony is correct. When your truth bullets merge with their weaknesses, it will become a logically sound agreement. A little hot in here. From now on, you must infer whether it's best to argue or agree based on what's being said. Let's start by during the argument you can review. Well then, good luck and have fun. Right. I don't remember any of the concepts, so let's go with... yeah.
Since Peko was in the office,
Yep.
she could have caused the blackout at any time.
That's impossible.
Huh? Why is it impossible?
Because I was not in the office. Not even before the blackout.
God is right. Stick.
What happened to your guard duty?
Sorry.
Oh, you weren't in the office? That's clearly a desperate excuse.
Just from listening to Peko's testimony, it's not weird to doubt. But I feel like I spoke to someone during the investigation who totally backs up her testimony.
Since Peko was in the
Oh, I
office,
should have pressed that button. No, man, that's
she could have caused the blackout at any time.
We'll take it.
That's impossible.
Huh? Why is it impossible?
In the ass.
Because I was not in the office. Not even before the
Fire! Yeah,
I agree with that.
it worked. But she had the runs.
No, I think Peko is telling the truth.
Don't tell me you're crushing on Peko.
Just because she wields a sword doesn't mean I'm instantly gonna love it. No.
It's nothing like that at all. Nukumaru's account is actually Peko's alibi.
Trying to use it many times, but the door just won't open at all.
It's true. Someone was occupying the bathroom for a long time shortly after the party started, and it was finally freed up after Byakuya's body was discovered.
Then the person who was in the bathroom that whole time was actually...
Everyone else besides Peko was in the dining hall after the party started, right?
I see. So there's no way anybody else could have locked themselves in the bathroom except Peko.
I guess that would be true.
You locked yourself in the commode? You should have said so earlier.
There's no way she'd actually say that. Gosh, you're so insensitive.
If she locked herself in the bathroom for that long, there's no doubt. It's shit.
There's no doubt. It's a shit.
Oh, there's no way she'd admit it. There's no way she'd admit she was taking a shit.
Hey, weren't you guys taught any basic manners? Or were you raised in a locker room?
I don't know about them, but maybe.
I'm sorry.
I apologize.
It's fine. How about we stop talking about this and move on to something else?
Don't worry. The smell wasn't that strong. I used the bathroom right after you, so you can trust me.
I said it's fine.
But still, you were in the bathroom for a really long time. Did you get food poisoning or something?
As soon as I stepped into the office, I felt this sudden rush of pain in my stomach. Because of that, I was unable to leave the bathroom, including when the blackout occurred.
Hey, how did it feel to do your business in the dark? Did you get excited?
They're totally not now.
Seriously, stop it.
But still,
Stop it.
your stomach pain. Was that really just a coincidence?
Hey, what's the deal? Don't butt into other people's business, especially if you didn't do any investigating.
I'm only butting in because you fucking idiots are out of your element.
And you're not?
Stop this childish nonsense. Just what do you mean by coincidence?
What I mean is it possible someone slipped her some laxatives?
Huh.
Laxatives?
Supermarket did have everything.
If so, the killer could have tripped the breaker as soon as that girl left the office, don't you think?
I see. That might have happened.
Nah. Questions whether Pecco's stomachache was a coincidence or if someone intentionally caused it. Depending on the answer, the outcome of this trial could change drastically.